everybody. Hey, happy April Fool's Day. I promise you today won't be filled with a bunch of nonsense. We've got some fun stuff that I wanted to kind of run through today. And as I get into this, I always want to think about things that I'm doing to be very helpful for the things that you can either add to your business or not. So anyways, here we go. Happy April Fool's Day. It is 2024. We have some incredible opportunities to re-engage with the people that we already know. Welcome to the flight plan. Today is going to be a fantastic day. Lots of great things that we're working on here for me personally, and how I can share some of the things that I'm doing with you guys. And hopefully somewhere down the line, this becomes something that you can implement for your real estate business as well. So here we go. One of the neat things that we have been thinking about over the weekend is how to stay in touch with our database. Now, there's tremendous things from just texting and phone call, obviously. However, what about the newsletter? And I would say 8 to 10 years ago, we ran a newsletter and we were very successful with it. And it's interesting how often we get away from things that are successful because we hear of a new shiny object and we feel like there's another new way to engage with your sphere of influence. And so you eliminate some things and you put all of those coins into another bucket that you feel like could even elevate your business in another way. And what I'm coming back to is almost going back to very foundational real estate selling. What are the basics of the basics? And it's communication. You know, the way to get that information to your sphere of influence is either through direct connections on social media or some type of email marketing. But the email marketing is best when done through some type of informational. What's the gift that you can give to somebody that's on a very consistent basis? And we are actually going back into creating a newsletter. And so this morning we were talking, Jen and I were talking about creating that list of people. And, you know, even if it's small, and every agent has people, and it doesn't matter if they're on your phone, you know, we have a tremendous number of people that are here on our telephones, our cell phones. You know, you've got, I don't even know how many people I have. I probably have 3,000 people stored on here. Now, the challenge with all that is it's mainly phone numbers. However, we do have the opportunity to get a significant number of emails. We can find lists. We can find ways to connect with people. I think if you went on social media and said, hey, I'm really thinking about putting a newsletter together, let me know if you would like to receive a copy of the newsletter. People will direct message you their emails, and especially people that know you, love you, trust you, and want to hear your thoughts on all the things that are going on. So begin with something simple is an Excel spreadsheet, or download your list of contacts from your phone, put that on a spreadsheet. You know, think about the number of people you have on your social networks. Imagine if you could go through them, obviously a big blanket post, but the people that you really want to connect with, send them direct messages. This is a fabulous way to start engaging with people and then promote your real estate newsletter, that you are putting something together that's really, really profound. I'm trying to figure out what my newsletter would be named. And I really kind of go back to, you know, my flight plan. Here's some things that we're continuing to work on. Here's some things that are that we want to share with our contacts. I'm actually going to create two newsletters. I'm going to have a newsletter that's directly targeted towards my sphere of influence and the people that I already know. And then I'm also going to have a newsletter that's geared directly to real estate agents. And the real estate agent is going to be centered around two things. Number one, agent to agent referrals. As I'm growing out a network of agents around the country, I want to be able to tell them all the great things that's happening in the state of Texas and to remind them that we pay a great referral fee to the agents that give us opportunities to help their clients either moving out of the area or moving into the area. So agent to agent referrals is going to be one avenue that we're looking for. So I have two lists currently that we're working on. Number one, I'm going to create that sphere of influence list. I have, you know, several people that I already have on there. However, I'm going to go through it all, and I want to make sure that I have anywhere from 300 to 500 core group of people that I know that are past clients that are still actively engaged with the things that we're doing. And I'm going to start off there. Then I'm going to start the process of adding people to that list. And then by doing that, I want to make sure that I'm getting them good information. So 2 newsletters, 1 agent to agent and 2 agent to consumer asking for business. And that's the way we're going to continue to build throughout 2024. We're going to showcase the reasons why a great agent is fabulous to have for the listing. We're going to talk about the reasons why a great agent is great to have for buyer representation. Earlier today, our CEO was talking about how the models are changing and how most people in the real estate world are fine with paying a real estate agent a commission. We just have to figure out what that value is and how much that an agent per agent is going to charge the consumer. And that's going to be wildly varied from agent to agent. And I think it's really going to be able to benefit those that really want to deliver a high value for a high fee, and those that are just going to want to be basic and say, look, I'll unlock a few doors for you, and this is what I'll charge. And the consumer is going to be able to pick out who they want. So our newsletters are going to talk about those types of things. And so we are going to create a custom newsletter for 2 audiences. Again, Rick the Realtor audience, and then Rick the Agent Attractor audience. And so I'm looking forward to building those out, and I'll continue to share those with you. What goes inside a newsletter? I pulled up something, and it was interesting. I'll post the link, but it was on Playster.com, and it's a real estate website company. They're a marketing company, and they promoted something that says 42 engaging real estate newsletters ideas, and they've got tons and tons of examples from some of the things that they're doing for their particular agents. So, I would encourage you to go to there. Again, I'll post the link, 42 engaging real estate newsletter ideas, and do some research on your own. I mean, plug into some ideas of what you want to do. Obviously, I'm going to build out something that's very specific for what we want to do. And then we want to get these out. My ultimate goal is to get to a situation where I can send out at least 1 newsletter every single month. And I want to have it built inside this newsletter, a video. I want to have a 1 to 2 minute video as a reminder that I'm a real estate agent in the Woodlands, Texas. I sell real estate mainly in the North Houston area. If you have anybody that you're thinking that's moving to the area, I would love to interview for the job. And if you have somebody that needs to sell a property, we're building out a database of a significant number of buyers that might be willing to be able to buy your home before it even hits the market. So my goal is to deliver that type of a video messaging inside my newsletter. Ironically, the video is probably the most clicked link. And inside this newsletter, it's going to have a ton of clickable links. And these links are going to be trackable so that if a particular person clicks on a link, I'm going to know that if I send a newsletter out to my mom, Grace Bell in Destin, Florida, and Grace Bell clicks on the video, I know she's going to want to see what I'm doing. So will some of your other clients. But if my mom also clicks on a single story home here in the Woodlands, I might know that maybe she's interested in moving to the Woodlands to be closer to us. So these are the types of things that we need to know as a marketing expert. And so these newsletters are going to track all of the links and who's clicking on them. The video is the most clicked link in newsletters from what I have looked up. So obviously I'm not afraid of video, so I'm going to create these types of videos. And I would encourage every person to, even if you're not sharing the video, just start shooting video of yourself talking about certain topics and just, watch it, see if you like it. And if you don't like it, delete it, start again. It's pretty easy to do. So inside the newsletter, we're going to have 3 to 4 articles. We're going to talk about relevant things that are happening in the real estate world today, whether it's mortgage rates, whether there's some types of things or anticipated new construction builds. We're going to talk about the rise of materials. We're going to talk about great ways to redo a bathroom. If you have a 50-year-old home, what are the things that you're doing to remodel your property? We're in the process of rebuilding out a master bathroom, so we're kind of documenting all those types of things. So it'll be fun to share some things that you're doing inside your own house with others, because people like those types of authenticity and transparency. So 3 to 4 articles. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to include up to 6 different types of listings and varying price points. Because if you're sending out a mass newsletter, you want to have a featured home in each of those individual price points. Now, Imagine you can come up with a first-time home buyer properties. You can come up with the move-up buyer, the 55 plus community. You can have a feature of a new construction home. You can have luxury clickings. Because if you're sending out a massive number of newsletters, you're obviously going to have a wide variety of income levels, interest in properties. You might find that somebody who is a luxury homeowner that you've helped several years ago, and now they've got adult kids, might be interested in the first time home buyer program because they're either going to share those types of homes with their children or might possibly even be in the market to buy something for them or even to buy into the rental world. So you're tracking all these things. And remember, these were clickable links. So we're going to know the exact person that clicked that link, and we're going to know who to call and follow up with, so that we can say, hey, saw you are interested in a specific thing. How can I help you with that? So the 6 listings that you're going to have in your newsletter doesn't really, in the newsletter that I'm going to have, obviously I'm not carrying 6 listings today currently. So how do I fix that? Well, I'm going to call agents in different markets and say, hey, I'm putting an article together, a newsletter to send out to 500 or 1,000 people or 5,000 people. Doesn't matter. I'm going to send out my newsletter, and I'd like to showcase your property as one of our featured homes that are for sale on this particular price point. Would it be okay to market your property? Obviously, I'm going to give you credit for the listing. And I don't know of too many people that would say no. There might be, but if there are, you just apologize and say, thanks so much. I'll call the next guy. So six listings in 6 different price points will help you figure out who's buying in what areas. And it doesn't matter if it's your listing. Go find some listings to promote. Agents would love that type of stuff. So, and it looks like you're being very busy because here's 6 properties that you're promoting, and maybe it's 6 different markets that you want to promote. You can promote an area of Lake Conroe. You can promote an area of your particular town. You might promote a town out just a few miles away. It's important to be able to continue to drive your database, people that already know you, to the information that you're sharing with them. Blogs on your website. You might have specific things that you're writing about. Maybe it's some great hamburgers in a particular community and you want to share 6 different restaurants to go to. Here are 6 great things for kids activities in this particular deal. People love reading about those types of things. And if they will go through that entire article, that's what's going to continue to drive traffic for us. So I think with all the stuff that's happening in the real estate world today, information is key that comes from the agent to the consumer. And if we're delivering those types of things, we're going to be the first person thought of when that particular individual is looking to buy or sell real estate. Another great thing to have on your newsletter is a mortgage pre-qualification. So inside our newsletter, we're going to have a direct link to the loan people. Tammy Goodman will be our agent. That's our lender. That's our premier lender. She's the one that we are going to hopefully have a lot of our clients working with. And the nice thing about the lender pre-qual letter, which I think is really interesting, it gives your client the feeling that you're looking out for them. You're asking them to either refinance their current mortgage or looking for different properties, but you're involving your vendor partners, and I think it's important for that. It's also important to possibly check in with a lender, and you might do this on the first couple of runs and say, hey, listen, I want to include you in my newsletter. I want to share some different things that you're doing. Maybe your lender can come up with a few ideas that they're sharing that are mortgage related that inside your newsletter. And then, they click the links, and those are the ones that are high value leads for you. And the lender's obviously going to call you and say, hey, listen, you had 3 people from this past month reach out to me asking mortgage questions. So you follow up with those guys and you say, hey, talk to Tammy, and she said that you were thinking about either refinancing or looking into a new mortgage for another property. How can I help you? And those are great for that. And then if you're delivering results to your lender, talk to your lender about helping out with some of the costs that are associated with the newsletter and the things that are going on. So sometimes your lender could chip in for some of the fees that might, do with your newsletters. So, think of it this way. There's constant contact that you can reach out to. There's MailChimp. You can do just the old Google method for all of that. But however, I would try to have something that's set up differently for your deal. We're actually going back to a company that was doing this for us several years ago. A good friend of mine is Richie Laser. He has a company called Follow Up Results. Ironically, we've been talking for several months about getting all this stuff set up, and it's like I finally have to pull the trigger. I kept kicking the can down the road, and it's time for us to do this. And all the things that are going on was really the spur for me to get this going. So the other thing that I would say is start building out that database, and it start small and continue to build. Tell your sphere of influence in an email, hey, I am thinking about putting a newsletter together. If you would like to receive the newsletter, please respond yes. If you don't want to be on the newsletter, make sure you let me know as well as too, so that I can make sure that I'm blocking you from that. Inside my newsletters, like I said, I'm going to send out with follow-up results. They've got a great program. They do 12 monthly newsletters. They do 12 monthly market reports, which I think are pretty impressive. They will also let you do 6 new listings or open house emails, and they'll also send out 8 holiday announcements too. Richie will tell the story of how he's built his business from agent to agent referrals. He's doing on average about 5 deals per month, strictly by sending out newsletters to other agents. So, MailChimp is one great way to get set up. Constant Contact is another way if you don't want to go an outside vendor to help you with some of these things. But we're going to continue to talk about the power of the newsletter once we get this stuff done. I hope that you guys would want to be subscribers to my newsletter. So if you want to see what we're doing, please send me your email address. If I've already got you, I'll hit you up with it just to make sure. But if you're new to this flight plan and you want to learn a little bit more, please send me your email address, and I'm happy to get you added. And at least just use ours as some potential inspiration for what you may want to do with your own newsletters. So my goal is to grow this to a point where I'm sending out 5,000 newsletters every single month by the end of 2024. And it should be pretty easy to get there. But I just want to continue to let people know I'm going to not only share the newsletter via email, I'm also going to share the newsletter socially so people can click on that via social media. So anyway, these are some things that we're working on. Next Monday, I'm actually going to have my very, very first guest because I think it's this important. And I'm going to have Richie Laser with Follow Up Results. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about it, just go to followupresults.com. Richie's a good friend of mine. I met him when we were back in our Keller Williams days at a family reunion. We were sitting on a couch talking about different marketing ideas, and that's when he was telling me about Follow-Up Results. And we were a client for several years, and and unfortunately we got away from it, and now it's time to go back. But he'll be on the flight plan with us next week, so take a look at that. And if you do reach out to him, just tell him Rick sent you, and he'll get you some good ideas for your particular newsletter. So. Listen, happy Monday, happy April Fools. I hope you're not falling for too many pranks today. I love the direction that we're heading with for our business. I'm super excited about all the great things that are going on. Some big wins for us. We've got a great listing under contract this weekend. We've got another buyer under contract, and we've got another agent referral coming in for another new listing that's coming up here in a little bit. So we are building our business, and I want to share our success with you, and our flight plan that we're working on for us will work for you too. Listen, have a great week. I hope our flight plan was wonderful for you guys, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. And Richie's going to tell you all the great things about follow-up results and how you can build out a terrific newsletter. So have a great week. Take care.